Americans are closer to this conflict than they realize.
Coming up on BG Today, the latest details as Russia continues to invade Ukraine, what's happening on Ukrainian soil, and how the conflict will impact Americans.
And BGSU spirit group SICSIC unmasked 2 of its senior members over the weekend. Who was behind the masks and why this particular unmasking is so historic?
Plus, a Findlay High School athlete announces his college decision, where he's decided to spend the next 4 years and how he made the choice. All of these stories and more on BG24's BG Today.
Live from the campus of Bowling Green State University.
But first, breaking news as we learn more about Russia's attack on Ukraine. Welcome to BG Today. I'm Claire Mitchell.
And I'm Ethan Watts. At least 40 soldiers are dead in what the Ukrainian foreign minister is calling a full-scale invasion. Since the attacks began, Russian troops have now moved across the border and into the region. Ukraine is not a member of NATO, and while the country has their support, the U.S. and other Western nations are not sending troops. BGSU political science professor Neil Jesse says while the invasion is taking place on the other side of the world, Americans are a lot closer than they think.
You know, hopefully Americans will see that this isn't just an inconvenience to us. In reality, this war, and this is the largest war in Europe since World War II, this war hits a lot closer to home than we think, because if Americans don't come together to defend democracy and our allies in Europe, we'll be defending it later from a much weaker position. So, you know, it's very important, I think, from my standpoint, that Americans realize that this sort of aggression must be stopped now.
Jesse also says Americans should expect higher gas prices due to Russia's hold on natural gas. Meanwhile, the AP says NATO is taking action against the invasion through military defenses. This comes with the announcement of a virtual summit tomorrow. Earlier this week, BGSU professor Timothy Davis received a minimum sentence of 25 years in prison. Davis entered an Alford plea to 3 counts of rape. With an Alford plea, he did not admit to the offenses, but agreed to enter into it in order to avoid the risk of being sentenced on a more serious offense. Davis was an associate professor of biological sciences at BGSU for about 4 years before being arrested in September and resigning in October of last year.
Next Tuesday, BGSU is inviting students and community members to a candlelight memorial in remembrance of former student Stone Foltz. The event starts at 7:30 at the Union Oval. The day comes just under a year after Stone Foltz's death in a hazing incident. The university says they hope to ensure Foltz is never forgotten, and they are continuing to work together to end hazing.
Bowling Green State University will host the first ever Ohio Anti-Hazing Summit. K-12 and college professionals from around the state are invited to attend on Tuesday, August 2nd. The summit includes advisors and practitioners for fraternities, sororities, and student organizations. University conduct staff and athletic coaches will also be at the event. The free summit at the Bowen-Thompson Student Union will focus on prevention, education, innovative resources, best practices, and strategies to stop hazing on college campuses.
The Bowling Green community finally met the students behind the 2 familiar faces on campus, one of which just made history. BG24 reporter Sophia Walcher has the latest on the unmasked SICSIC members.
SICSIC, Deadpool, and Shrek revealed their identities to the student body at the BGSU hockey game on Saturday. The Spirit Squad is one of the oldest active groups on campus, with the history dating back to 1946. For SICSIC, their goal is more than just promoting school spirit and goodwill. It's about making campus a better place while hiding their identity from friends, family, and classmates. Something SICSIC advisor Jacob Clemens says makes this moment extra special.
They serve a full 3 years, and it's a very bittersweet moment because they really value their secrecy, and they also value being able to give back in a anonymous kind of way.
Noah Silver, also known as Deadpool, says the moment felt like a movie.
You were sitting there with the people who supported you, with the people who are excited to see you for that first time, and it is unlike, it was just,
This year marks SICSIC's 75th unveiling, but the event was historic for more than just its anniversary. Mika Fitzpatrick is the second ever Black woman in SICSIC history.
Honestly, I encourage anyone who is of, any identity to go out and do it. It doesn't matter who you are, spread spirit, just do what you love, get back to the university, just do it.
The Spirit surprises don't stop with SICSIC. Mark your calendars for this Saturday when Freddie and Frida are revealed during the men's basketball game. Reporting for BG24, I'm Sophia Walcher.
With Shrek and Deadpool unmasked, there is room for 2 new SICSIC members. Applications are open for current first-year students only. The deadline to apply is tomorrow, and more information can be found on the BGSU website.
COVID cases are trending in the right direction. Both Ohio and Wood County are experiencing declining numbers. Ohio's average daily cases are down to just under 1,500 cases, which is down by 61% over the past 2 weeks. Wood County is going in the same direction. They have seen a 21% decrease in over the past 2 weeks for daily cases, as they drop to just 30 cases.
BGSU saw some warm temperatures early this week. Agatha, what can we expect to see heading into the weekend?
Thanks, Claire. This weekend we can definitely expect to still see some freezing temperatures, but don't worry, we're in the final stretch and hopefully we'll get to see some warmer temperatures coming up soon. Tonight, however, we can expect some snow. We're probably going to get about 2 to 3 inches. We have a high of around 29 degrees and our low of 24 with some high wind speeds going from 10 to 14 miles per hour, so make sure you bundle up with your jacket. Tomorrow we'll get a little bit of snow as well, but it won't be quite as bad as last week's ice storm. Our high is 21, getting down to 10 degrees, and we do have some high wind speeds, so expect some wind chill. Moving on to this weekend, it won't be as snowy, but on Saturday we'll be getting some sun. It'll be partly cloudy, our high of 29 and our low of 20, and then Sunday it'll warm up just a little bit, getting partly cloudy with our high of 32 and our low of 13. That'll be it for this week's weather. Hopefully we'll see some warmer weather soon. Back to you, Claire.
Good to know. Thanks, Agatha. The Wood County National Alliance on Mental Health is holding a t-shirt contest. Anyone who is interested can design a shirt in support of mental health and togetherness. The manager of community education and marketing for NAMI, Courtney Rice, says this year they opened up the contest to the community.
And what we wanted to do this year was kind of open up the design contest to individuals in the community who have, creative spirits and really just want to put a message out there about mental health. And the theme that we're going based off of is Together for Mental Health.
The shirt that wins gets sold at the NAMI building in downtown BG through May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month. They are accepting submissions until February 28th. Coming up after the break, a local athlete makes his college decision.
And updates on the postseason hunt for multiple Falcon teams. All here on BG Today.
Bowling Green State University, Army ROTC Fighting Falcon Battalion. For more information, visit our website, www.bgsu.edu/Army-ROTC, the #1 leadership course on campus.
A local high school athlete has chosen where to spend his next 4 years. Luke Montgomery, a four-star offensive tackle from Findlay High School, is among the top 100 on ESPN's top 300 juniors list. The 6'5", 290-pound offensive lineman came down to his final few schools, including the Michigan Wolverines, Clemson Tigers, and Ohio State Buckeyes. Montgomery says his choice came down to the last minute, and being close to home made all the difference. Last Thursday, he made his choice.
So, with that being said, I would like to commit to Ohio State.
4 former Findlay Trojans have made it to the NFL, with the most recent football star being former Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger over 20 years ago. The CCHA standings are tightening up as teams fight for the home ice advantage in round 1 of the playoffs. Reporter Charlie Ryan is outside the Slater Family Ice Arena with more.
Thanks, Steve. After being swept by the Northern Michigan Huskies last weekend, the Falcons look for a big win in the final series of the regular season. A common problem that the Falcons faced last weekend, as well as throughout this season, was their penalty minutes, as they currently lead the CCHA in penalties taken.
You know, kind of glaring thing would be the discipline, and we've talked to our guys about it at length, and we'll continue to talk about it. We'll continue to show them. So we've talked about the discipline.
Although they have worked to become more disciplined as the season has progressed, Coach Eigner says it all comes down to the mentality that comes with more experience from players. The Falcons have also been plagued with injuries throughout this season, with senior players like Zach Rose being out for a majority of the season, and having to rely on the freshmen like goaltender Christian Stover. Looking forward to this weekend, though, the Falcons and the Lakers are evenly matched in CCHA standings and are fighting for home ice advantage for round 1.
Yeah, like this place is awesome. Through my 5 years I played college hockey, this is a top 2 atmosphere, so definitely having these people behind us, it means a lot, and you definitely notice every time you're playing at the Slate. So,
looking through the standings, Bemidji State leads the Lakers and the Falcons by 4, and Northern Michigan trails by 1. For the Falcons, it all comes down to this weekend to see if they'll be able to get home ice advantage for their race to the Mason Cup. For BG24 News, I'm Charlie Ryan. Back to you, Steve.
Thank you, Charlie. The Falcons hold an advantage over the Lakers in matchups this season, meaning that if they split the series this weekend at the Lakers, they win the CCHA tiebreaker. The women's basketball team took on the Akron Zips last night at the Stroh Center. Both teams came into the game desperate for a win as the regular season winds down. It was a tight game throughout the night with 8 lead changes across 40 minutes. With 15 seconds left in the fourth quarter, freshman Amy Velasco would tie things up at 70. However, the Zips would get a putback layup to go with 2 seconds remaining to edge out the Falcons 72-70. Katie Hempfling led the Falcons with 29 points, just 1 point shy of Akron's Jordan Dawson, who would finish with 30. The Falcons are now tied for 8th place in the MAC standings, with the MAC tournament just 2 weeks away. There's lots of excitement ahead for BG Sports over the next 2 weeks as winter sports near season's end and spring sports gets underway. Back to you, Ethan.
Thank you, Steve. The Counseling Center and Wellness Connection Group team up with some four-legged friends. Therapy dogs visited the Student Recreation Center Tuesday evening. Students could hang out with dogs for as long as they wanted and enjoy some stress-free coloring. The dogs and their handlers are trained and registered for therapy work. They volunteer their time to visit hospitals, nursing homes, and universities. Wellness Connection intern Ashley Lytle says the dogs were brought to bring awareness to therapy dog treatment.
Disorders, and we brought our therapy dogs to kind of hang out with people as they entered the student rec, and just hanging out, chilling out, petting some dogs and coloring some pages and giving out some free stuff.
Therapy dogs will continue to make appearances on campus throughout the rest of the semester. Their next event is at the Jerome Library on March 1st from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. and 5 to 7 p.m. Thank you for watching BG Today. Follow us for the latest news on Twitter at BG24 TV or find us on the web at bgfalconmedia.com.
We'll be back next Thursday with updates from around Bowling Green and Wood County. Have a good afternoon.
How about those dogs? I got to get out there. Jerome Library. less than a week.
Furry friends.
Furry friends.
Nothing better than dogs. Really nothing better.